Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Rich Mystic Man, and today we're going to be talking and discussing the Rich Mystic Way. And the core focus of today is 3 steps, 3 pillars, 3 fucking things that'll change the way you show up in your life. And I want you to understand what I mean when I'm talking about the Rich Mystic Man. This is a philosophy that I've adopted over the last few years, and what I've discovered is that it allows you to fully show up for yourself, for your purpose, create some epic results in your life, have money, more money than you could ever imagine, and also have amazing relationships with your children, with your wife, and with yourself. And so the 3 elements that we're going to be diving deep into today is having intensity in your focus, creating kick-ass results, and having epic relationship with self and also with your family. So let's unpack number 1, having intensity with your focus. And I remember I was at an event many years ago, probably about 9 years ago, and I was there and I wanted to start a water business. And so if you ask some friends that I had at the time, they'll tell you that I was a big thinker. I was an ideas man, and I was always talking about like this epic idea, and there was no shortage of ideas, right? And I remember I was at this event, and it was an NLP 3-day event, and I was there, and I was going through this phase in my life where I was like, I guess I was leaning into discomfort, because how I was prior to that was like any type of an event or like adult learning environment. I wouldn't put my hand up to talk, because like talking in front of people it scared the shit out of me. I was leaning into that. So I was at this event, and I was often like questions were asked and things like that. I was the guy that was putting up my hand, and I was talking. Like I was practicing, using confidence and thinking on my feet and practicing leadership. And I was getting outside my comfort zone, and I was doing the things that I was frightened by, because I was trusting that inner nudge, that voice that say, do it, put your hand up, say yes, pick me, I'll lead. You need a volunteer, I'll do it. So I was really stepping into that. And so I was really outside my comfort zone. And I was at this event, and I was there, and I was constantly putting my hand up, talking about this and that. And, this guy was asking, the guy that was hosting it was asking me different questions, and it, sort of coaching me on the spot. And he was asking about my business. So I was sharing, we're going to, do water, and I'm going to tap water here, and I'm going to have bottles, and, it's called crazy conscious water and all this sort of stuff. And then he shot a dagger in my heart. He said, Clint, you can sure talk a big game, but are you actually playing it? Dagger, heart, twist. Ouch. Triggered. And so it got me thinking, and I'm glad he said it, although I didn't like him at the time for saying it. I'm grateful he said it, because it called me to actually start playing in life, instead of just talking about it, or what I was going to do, or what I wanted to do, or what I didn't like in my life. I was sick of being broke, right? But was I doing anything about it? Not really. Actually, not really, not at all. I was going to events, and I was doing some work, right? I was doing a lot of the inner work, but I wasn't showing up and taking the action that I needed to do to have a successful business. And so with the topic of having intensity with your focus is really showing up and being intense with your focus and showing up and being intense with your focus and showing up and being intense with your focus. Hopefully that's landed. And what I mean by that is you really need to become obsessed. You need to become relentless. My wife's epic at this, right? I learned so much from my wife and how she shows up, and her being like a dog with a bone when she wants something. She's relentless. My son's the same. And I'm the same now. It's probably something that I had to learn. But when you want something, it's just be relentless in the execution of it. being so focused on this is what I'm creating. And doesn't mean being blinded by it and not, being open to other ideas, because, if I go back to that initial idea that I had around, wanting to start a water business. And for me, I saw bottled water. I want to get a spring. I want to start bottling it. I wanted to ship it around the world, and or create like water filters and things like that. If I was stuck on that, I wouldn't have discovered that the business that has made me, that has freed me and given me this amazing lifestyle, because I would have been closed off to other solutions. And this was a product that I affiliated with that was high ticket, that I was able to then promote and sell, that aligned with my values, was the most amazing, incredible product on the planet. And I could get that out into the houses of other people and be paid handsomely for doing so as an affiliate, without having to take on all the BS that went with that whole business model that I was about to adopt by starting and springing my own water and all this sort of stuff, right? So I'm grateful that I was open to another possibilities. I wasn't so just blinded with this one perspective and this is what it's going to be, and I'm going to, focus on this and this is it. I have to do this. I was open, right? I was open. However, I was focused. I knew the outcome that I wanted, and I wanted to create financial freedom for myself, and I wanted to create financial freedom for others, and I wanted to impact people and provide a solution and help people to be hydrated and help people to have better health, help people to just, have better water in their house. And so a simple solution, right? But I became relentless and I became super focused on that. And that was the outcome that I wanted. And so I let go of a lot of distractions and just kept going at that one thing. I was just laser focused on it. Laser focused until it was a reality. And this was a hard one for me to get. And I know there's a lot of people that'll probably listen to this, and this might be a hard one for you to get. And I remember a lot of people used to say to me is like, just get one thing going. Be successful in one thing, and then you can pivot. Or then you can do something different. And I was like, yeah, nah, that's just for losers. I can do more than one thing, right? And so I was doing this and I was doing that. And really none of them were going anywhere. And it wasn't till I refined it back to two. I was like, all right, cool, I'm just going to do two things. And so I had two things going. I had my online business, and I was also doing some man workshops. And this is funny because this is probably about maybe 7 years ago now. And now I'm actually doing man workshops. Before then I was sort of like giving it a crack, and I sort of didn't really go all in on it. But what I did is, because I was just going to do the two things, but then my online business started really taking off. So I was like, you know what, this workshop thing for now is just a distraction. I just want to focus on this one thing. And I'm glad I did that, because I got laser focused. And so I was able to commit all my energy into that one thing and get that really moving and get that, put some intense energy behind that and get that exploding and amplify that and put my energy behind it and start seeing results. And then, 8 years later, I'm now recording an album. So I'm, focusing on other things, but that's got huge momentum and it's growing with or without me. And it continues to pay me every month, without showing up so much in it, which is a beautiful place to be in. However, I was super focused, and it hasn't always been like that. I was super focused for many, many years before I was at a point where I could, then go, all right, cool, I can do an album. Or if the album had came in when I was in year 2 of building my business, then I would have had to say no, because one, I wouldn't have had the resource to do it, all the time to do it, because my focus was building my business. My focus was creating financial freedom. My focus was, freeing my family and myself from the chains of being broke and the chains of having a job, or those things that I wanted to bust loose from. So that was my focus, and I was relentless in the execution. And it takes an intensity, showing up with intensity. And it's this intensity that it invites and it enrolls other people into your vision. So when you have this intensity, right, and it doesn't mean to be like intense, doesn't mean to be super serious or really like angry or like it's, it can be playful and it can be fun and it can be joyous and inviting people into it. And it's having this like intensity and this, relentless dog with a bone mindset and attitude. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to find a way out of no way. I'm going to be there. I'm going to put in the time. I'm going to put in the work. I was having a chat with my wife yesterday. I said to her, I was like, baby, are you proud of me because I'm a rapper? I was just like joking. And she's like, babe, I'm proud of you because you were you. I'm like, but what about because I'm a rapper? And I was looking for a little bit of approval, but she wasn't willing to give it. Fair call. I didn't really need it. And I can't remember why I'm sharing this. I distracted myself. Now I've got no idea what I was talking about prior or the point that I was trying to make. And that's okay. I'm going to move on and maybe it'll come back to me. Maybe it won't. But I'll go back to my notes. So maybe that's enough. So have an intensity with your focus. Being clear. This is what I'm going to create. Remove distractions and ask yourself this question. This is a question that you can adopt straight away. Is this thing that I'm entertaining with my energy, is this moving me closer towards my goals or is it moving me further away? And so, right now I'm writing an album, right? Recording an album. So everything's based around that. And obviously I've got a podcast, I've just launched a Rich Man Retreat. I've got a few things on the mix, right? And you might be saying, but you said to do one thing. And I will say that what I'm experiencing now is that if you have the resources, you can afford to do a few things at once. Because I do have the time and space with money and resources and hiring things. Like right now I'm in a podcasting studio because our house is getting some renovations. And so I just hired a studio. And so I'm recording a couple of episodes from this studio. I've just been in the recording studio doing music. I've got my producer. This all costs money. And, and also if I want to execute something, I've just, put on a marketing team. So you guys, are seeing my marketing out there on Instagram and Facebook. If not, at Clint X Morgan on Facebook, on Instagram. And, you'll see my content there at YouTube, at Clint X Morgan. And you'll start to see some of the content that's going out, but I've got a team that's doing that. And so, but if I was at the start of my journey, that would have been me doing that, right? Because I wouldn't have had the resources to pay the team. And so, I feel that as you progress along your journey and you have more resources there, you have a little bit more spaciousness to play. And so, but yeah, having your focus. And so this is something you can do straight away. Is this decision that I'm making right now, is this contributing to my vision or is it moving me further away? And this can come down to simply like having a coffee with someone. So a friend reaches out to you, you're in like a 90-day game plan, your focus is business, you want to show up, you want to, create financial results, you're in the game, you've set your goals, you're showing up, you're doing the thing. And a friend, you could get a call or a text and they're like, oh dude, man, I'm in town just for a couple of days. Would love to catch up for a coffee or a beer or a dinner. And you got to really tune in and you got to go, okay, well, yeah, sure, it might be great to catch up with Trevor and go for a beer, but is that really contributing to my goals? And maybe it is, and maybe it's not. And so be discerning, be relentless with what you say no to, because it's more so what you say no to that you don't allow in your space, which then gives you more spaciousness to, have the space to create what you want. So there's all these little micro decisions that you need to make in a day. That is this contributing to my vision or not? And this can come down to the food you're putting in your body, the water that you're drinking, the drinks that you consume. Like, someone offers you a beer. Do I want that beer? Tune into your body. Yes or no? Is this contributing to my vision or taking me further away? And maybe you can, I'm not saying don't have a beer, but that decision's yours. I don't want to be the guy here saying don't have a beer or have a beer or don't have a joint or don't have a joint. That's not my job. That's not my role, right? But is that decision moving you closer towards your goals or moving it further away? That's the decision. And, which I'll cover in step 3, is like, I'm all for like having having balance and enjoying yourself and enjoying the journey and getting the most out of it, connecting with people and valuing your relationships and catching up with friends, doing the work on yourself and giving yourself space to create and all this sort of stuff, right? So this doesn't mean be rigid, be over the top, work yourself to the ground, do a million, things at once, go a million miles an hour, don't make space for yourself. That's not what I'm saying here. The point that I'm trying to get across is that it's just you become the discerner, right? It's your space. It's your fucking life. You get to decide what you're giving your time and energy to, who you're giving your time and energy to. And is this step that I'm taking moving me closer towards my goals or further away? Is this contributing to my vision or is it not? And so become relentless with that. Become a badass with that. And it might be uncomfortable at the start. It's like, ooh, I got to say no here. I got to say no to the boys. I got to say no to this day out. I got to say no to this, to my wife. Like sometimes I got to say no to my wife. She might want to hang out at night. And I'm like, babe, I'm going in the studio. She's like, oh, cool. Yeah, fine. No worries. Maybe we can catch up after. I'm like, yeah, cool. Maybe we can sit down and have a magnesium tea before bed. Right? We catch up for a tea before bed. But that I know that I need to get in the studio. I need to create. I need to create my music. It's not going to create itself. It's on me. So I need to be like, even with my kids, sometimes there's things that I have to say no to that I'm not going to do with them. This isn't me not being for them and not being present. I still allocate a lot of time and energy for my children, and I'm an advocate for that, being present with your children, being there for them, but spending time with them. And that's one reason why I created Freedom, so I could be around in the house and do a crazy breakfast run in the morning. Should send me at breakfast time, man. I'm a machine. Like some of the shit that, I got food for myself. I got poached. This is my morning routine, right? So I get up, I have some minerals, and then I have warm water with lemon or lime, with a bit of salt and a bit of humic and fulvic acid. I'll drink that. I'll sip on that, and then I'll have a celery juice. So I'm juicing. Got the kids helping me with this juice. Meanwhile, I'm making toast. I'm doing cereal. I've got poached apple or poached pear happening for the kids. I'm doing milk drinks. I'm doing porridge, and then I'll do we'll have the celery juice. Then I'll do a raw milk with some raw eggs and some raw honey. Make this like epic milk drink up, and I feed it around to the kids. And then I'm doing poached apple and poached pear. I'm eating that, and then I'm doing like spiced porridge, or I'm doing like buckwheat pancakes with coconut yogurt and honey and poached apple or poached pear. And then I'm finishing off with maybe a cacao. And this is my morning routine. Man, I'm a machine, right? You should see me in the house. And I want it to be there for the kids, right? And some days it does my head in, but other days I love it. I'm like, and then I'm doing lunch boxes at the same time. It's like, oh, look at me, man. I'm manifesting it. Manifesting generator, if you guys know what that is, human design. So intense focus and being there for the kids, right? Step one. Just got to, creating kick-ass results. Dude, being the inspiring example of what's possible for others. Crushing it. Like, I don't have to talk about this too much. It's like, just get in the game, make some big plays, and create some epic results. Like, prove yourself right or prove yourself wrong. If you're telling yourself you can't do it, prove yourself wrong. If you're telling yourself you can do it, prove yourself right. Do you know what I mean? Get out there and make it happen. All those haters, everyone that told you would never amount to anything or you're never going to make it, get in the game. Prove them wrong. Show up. Create some epic results. Get money. Make lots of it. Heaps of it. As much of it you can. Live a crazy, abundant, over-the-top life. Don't worry about saving food scraps. Right? Get to a point where that doesn't matter. Have heaps of staff that are supporting you. Buy lots of cars. Buy a property. Buy a jet. Do all the things that you want to do. Get crazy rich. There's no shame in it. There's nothing wrong with money. Someone shared this with me the other day. Saw them at an event, Claire, and she said to me, she goes, you know what, Clint? She goes, you know, I like about you. She goes, money hasn't changed you. And she said, you know, money's just an amplifier. You know, if you're an asshole, you'll be more of an asshole with money. If you're a good guy, you'll be more of a good guy with money. So if you're a good guy, fucking get rich. Imagine the good shit that you can do with that money. I know that you do great things with it. You give it away. Me, I'm super generous. I love giving away. Like I went out for a bit of a boys' night the other night and I spent $900, right? And it was just like, people were like, $900. I was just like tipping, you know, I was tipping the person at the bar like $80. I was paying people's drinks that their card wasn't working. We got a taxi. It was $20. I gave them an $80 tip. I was just being generous. I was just sort of like, yeah, you know what? It's just, I'm just having fun with this money and I'm giving it away and I see the response. You know, sometimes I'll go to there's this bar down in Byron and, I don't know the name of it, but anyway, it's a non-for-profit. Anyway, I was in there one day and I think my meal was $100. And I said, listen, I just want to give you a $500 donation. And the lady just started crying and it was beautiful. I had this beautiful experience. She was touched by it, you know, she was just moved by it. And I was like, fuck, this is really amazing. So, you know, this is me just having fun and giving and being expressed with my money, being generous. And I really feel that's a key to wealth. And that's a discussion we can have on another episode. And, you know, but give it away. I know that if you're listening to this, if you had money or when you have money, that you'll do better in the world with it. So make a decision, get in the game, make some big moves, make a decision right now that you're going to get rich, that you're going to make an abundance of money. You're going to be successful in your business. You're going to go to the top. You're going to do that thing that's in your heart that you're inspired by. You're going to make music. You're going to be a sports person. You're going to be the best husband you can be. You're going to be the best father you can be. You know, it doesn't all have to be revolved around money or business. It can be, you know, around having the best relationship on the planet or having the best health or being able to do the most amount of push-ups. Fuck, I don't know what your goals are, but get in the game, get relentless and create some epic results. Shock yourself because it's possible. Trust me, man, if I can be here talking to you about this and from the background that I've come from and what I've had to grow and learn and adopt and embody and overcome along my journey, then you can do it. You can make it happen. And I know you've probably got more skill sets. You've got more possibility. There's more opportunity out there now. And it'll be different to what I've done because you're going to be following those nudges and those whispers of your soul. It's only specific to you. That's unique to you. And that's the brilliance of this like creation that we live in, is that it's unique. Everyone's purpose and mission and life is fingerprint specific. There's no two lives that are the same. It's like a snowflake. There's no two lives that are the same. So there's no competition. And you can show up and create the life that you want. An epic life. One that you can be proud of. One that you're grateful for. One that you enjoy. And, you know, in that, it's going to be fucking challenging. And there's days where you want to bang your head against the ground and, you know, you want to get in the car and drive away and never turn back. And, you know, like, I had one of those days the other day. Like, there's no escaping it, you know, and I don't want you guys to look at me and me saying about how amazing my life is and, you know, like living in abundance and financial freedom, and it doesn't come with challenges. I mean, face the challenges on the daily. Many challenges. So you never escape that. It's part of life. It's part of reality. Until it's not. You know, maybe it'll change, I don't know, but for now, that's been my experience, and that's the experience of everybody that I know. But get in the game. And so the last point, the rich mystic way. So first one is having intensity with your focus. Secondly is creating kick-ass results. And that's the rich. And that's the legacy piece. That's the like your manifestation. That's the expression of yourself. That's, you know, what's the impact you want to leave on the planet. So creating kick-ass results and having an epic relationship with yourself and also with your family. So, you know, for me, when I was, you know, on the journey of creating success in my business, I was like, I really want to do this from a place of space and a place of being able to be there and be super present with my family and be there for my kids and be there for my wife and just be present. Be able to sit there and have a conversation with your children, be there for them. You know, when there's a meltdown, your kids are cracking it. What did Ava do today? I don't know, she was losing it over something really like, she might have she wanted to put the water on the toothpaste. She wanted to put the water on the toothpaste and I did it. Then it was the end of the world. But I was just there for her. I was like, she just needs a cuddle. So I just gave her a cuddle and held her, and she was having a tantrum and all this sort of stuff. And I'll just be able to be super present with her. So for me, that's important. So, you know, being there for the family. And I'd say most importantly is like, you know, being super present with yourself. What's your needs? What do you need right now? Do you need some space? Do you need to go for a walk? Do you need to get out into nature? Do you need to have some water? Do you need to clean up your diet? Do you need to stop drinking alcohol? Do you need to stop doing drugs? Do you need to get off the meds? You need to start meditating, exercise, move, go to the gym, you know, get clean. Because as a man, as anyone, you know, our capacity, we start to fill up and things start to bubble up. And if we don't have an outlet, or we don't give ourselves space, then things can blow up. And, you know, even I'm in the studio and I'm recording and, you know, I'm sort of having a bit of a struggle, or I might be a little bit triggered. I'm like, John, I said to go for a walk, man. He's like, fuck, man, we just got into it. I'm like, I just need 5. I just need 10. And I'll go outside, I'll hug a tree, come back, I'll tell Johnny about it. He's like, what are you doing out there, man? You're a weirdo. But I just needed 10 minutes just to reset, recalibrate. And, you know, maybe that's all it takes. You're at home, kids are a lot, family's a lot, business. It's all like, it's at you, go for a little walk on the beach, 10 minutes. Sometimes that's all it takes. But giving to yourself, what do you need? And as a man, giving to yourself is creating results in your life. You know, I really feel that's an integral part of being a provider. And in my experience and what I've witnessed in other men is that sometimes you need to go through an experience of not providing to feel certain elements and aspects of yourself that need to be felt, so you then can reclaim power and then be the provider. And so if you're in a space now where you're like, I just can't get it together to provide, that's okay. Be in that. There's some lesson in there. There's some blessing in there. There's something there that's integral, an integral piece to your journey. So that's okay. And can you start to take a different action? Or, you know, maybe there's something you're not seeing, or you can show up, or you can, you know, start getting outside of that situation and start creating some results for yourself. So give yourself some space. So get intense. So this is the rich mystic way, right? So it's intense. You're focused. You're showing up. You're a dog with a bone. You're relentless. Cool. I'm creating these results for myself. I'm all in. Doing everything that I can. I'm here 110%. I'm learning. I'm showing up. I'm getting mentored. I'm open to new ways. I'm willing to learn what I don't know. I'm learning, and I'm honoring myself, and I'm creating space. And so it's that finding that balance. I don't know, and this is how it'll happen for me. Boom, I'm on. You know, creating, so much happening. I'm so busy, many things on. Got hectic days. Holy shit! Get to the end of the day, I'm like, out as soon as I hit the pillow, right? And then the next day I'm like stressed out. I'm like, shit, I've got so many things to do. My to-do list is like, fuck, what? Oh, holy shit. I feel like, oh my God, life's too much. Like the pressure, holy crap. Like I just want to run away. I just want a day off. Can I have a day off? You can't have a day off on life. Holy shit. Okay, I just need to breathe. All right. I just need to go for a walk. I need to take a day off. I need to check into a retreat. I need to listen to Clint X Morgan. The podcast. So creating that space for yourself, honoring yourself. Because you start to get these nudges. You start to get a little wake up call with the body. You get like like you'll crick your neck. And then all of a sudden your neck's out. And then, the person who doesn't listen, they keep pushing. I got to get through. I got to keep pushing. But the rich mystic way is like, all right, cool. My neck's out. What's that telling me? Am I going too hard? Do I need to go get a massage? Do I need to just have a day off? Do I need to treat myself? Do I need to, is there a conversation I'm not having? What am I putting off? What am I not seeing? Rather than just like, nah, I gotta work. I gotta keep going. I gotta, it's finding that balance. Finding that, okay, cool. Right, I'm on. I need a little bit of space. Then I'll do it. I'll like during the week I'm up at 4 a.m. I'm creating music. I'm doing long days. Some days I'm in the studio at night. I'm creating. I'm writing. I'll do the kid stuff. I'll put the kids down. Then I'm back in the studio, and then I'll get to the week and I'm like, oh wow, that was an epic week. And this weekend I'm just gonna chill. I just want to just do nothing, little as possible. Be at home. Maybe go to the beach, go to the creek, something chill, low key, just little as nothing. And I'll need that to reset because then the next week I'm on. So it's like when you're on, and when you're off, you're off. So being in intensity, bringing that intensity with your onness when you're on, and when you're off, cool, just chill. And everyone's different. Your off might be like, all right, cool. You need some time off. So you're like, cool, I'm going to go mountain bike riding for 100 kilometers. Maybe that's your way of relaxing. Me, that's not relaxing for me. But everyone's a little bit different. People like to, like when they're off, they're doing something, For me, I like to just chill. Like if I can just sit down, because there's a lot of like that. You guys heard my breakfast routine. Well, that's pretty hectic. When I'm eating my breakfast, I'm chilling until someone else wants something else. And I'm like, right, I'm back on. So it's like when you're on, you're on. When you're off, you're off. So home play, intensity with your focus. Get some results, some kick-ass results. And kick-ass results start with just the result, compounded, continued, done again and again and again. And create some space for yourself. Become aware. I think if men just created more space for themselves and honored themselves when they need it, and it might be just like, hey babe, I just need 5. I just need to go for a quick walk barefoot on the beach or whatever, depending where you live. I just need to go outside. I just need to go out in the backyard. I just need 10 minutes. Take it. Ask for what you want. All right, guys. Big love.
Sitting here watching the clock, I'm struggling, thinking of the bullshit that I've been juggling. Is there more to life than this? I'm thinking twice about the price I'm paying in this 9 to 5 life. The sweatshop on the